covered. This is also the main notion that we are dealing with the whole course. And we also, had some specific features to discuss, like international humanitarian law, international criminal law, environmental law, refugee law, in the context of gender. But now we are just going in a little bit back to this without talking about all these, let's say, initiatives in international fora discussing and including gender per se and equality as a notion, as a concept, but now more go into the deep digging what basically we are dealing here. And I also rely on your active participation today. For those who don't know me, for some colleagues who are online, and for Matthew, yeah. My name is Ivana Kostic, as you see in my schedule, and I'm so sorry that due to this online possibility I have to be here. I like to move around and also to stand, but I really doubt that your colleagues will be able to hear me. And that I said that we will not do this online anymore, but we just decided because of the weather and also because our foreign students still didn't get visa and didn't come to Belgrade. At least one colleague that we continue, but it will be really the last chance until your exams. So when we speak about gender equality and human rights and why it is relevant, we usually have in documents sex/gender. And sometimes it's sex, sometimes it's gender. And you know that today we have the whole discussion in international fora, what is meant by sex and what is meant by gender, and do sex also compile gender, or if gender compile sex. And basically the term sex is a narrower, more narrower than gender. Sex means biological differences. We've been born with certain characteristics, and those characteristics are basically what we consider to be sex. When we speak about the gender is a social concept. It means what we believe that are the roles assigned to be male or female. So this is gender. So this is how the society basically interprets how it is to be male or female. Do you have any example of what would be the sex differences and what would be gender differences? Mm-hmm.
For example, sex differences are genitalia or chromosomes or hormones. And gender is women tend to have longer hair.
For example, this is a socially construed that what we expect. Of course, it doesn't mean that a woman cannot have short hair, but then we don't think that she's feminine. Yeah? Yeah. Do you have any other example of gender?
Wearing skirts, wearing beard,
heels. For girls, exactly. Any other example? What are the female jobs and what are the male jobs? Cleaning. Mm-hmm. Because this is what we see, for example, I don't know if you have if you have any kids in your family, and then when you go to some play store, and then you find toys for girls and toys for boys. What are usual toys for boys?
Airplanes,
guns, airplanes, cars, being driver, and for girls, kitchen, preparing food, taking care of babies. So these are the gender. Oops. Okay. So this means to assign certain roles. These are the expectations that we have from male and female. And what we found here and what we discussed is, let's say, more or less easier. But then we can come to very complicated social roles, which maybe sometimes we don't see behind the scene, or maybe we don't see at a first sight, but it's happening and it's there, and it affects male and female equally. So it's really important to understand that. Okay, so here are the examples. So let's go and check if we understand these differences. Women give birth to babies. Sex or gender? So this is biological thing so far. So yeah, we will see how what the future will bring to us. These are these artificial intelligence, and not only that, but technological development that can also at some point.
If they consider themselves different than women, even though they have differences, we can also challenge this.
You can challenge, but this is also what are the sex differences, because it's also then it can also go to another concept that we will come to that later. But you are absolutely right. Girls are gentle, boys are rough. So this is absolutely gender. In Europe, most long distance truck drivers are men. Gender as well. Amongst Indian agricultural workers, women are paid 40 to 60% of the male wage. Gender, exactly. So this is also the expectations, how the society basically weight the work of men and women, and especially in certain. It is, because here is the difference between men and women, but this is like a concept which relies on socially construed roles. So it's not that women were worth less. Yeah. So this is why it's socially oriented. Men's voices break at poverty, women's do not. Sex. In Britain, girls perform better academically in primary school than boys do. It's again gender. And then we can also discuss what's the reason for that. It doesn't mean that girls are cleverer than boys. Yeah. Women can breastfeed babies, men can bottle feed babies. Again, sex. And men are susceptible to prostate cancer, women are not. Sex. So see, it's clear what's the difference between sex and gender, but what we also see here, and when we think about discrimination which is happening on the ground, mostly gender is the one who is the ground for discrimination, but in some cases it can also be sex as well. Here we have an author. She tried to explain what is gender, and basically she's very much cited, because in her book on gender injustice from 2004, as you can see, 20 years ago, she said the following: gender refers to the social attributes and opportunities associated with being male or female, and the relationship between men and women and men, and girls and boys, as well as between women and between men. These attributes, opportunities, and relationships are socially construed and are learned through socialization process. They're context and time specific, but changeable, since gender determines what is expected, allowed, and valued in a woman or a man in a given situation. In most societies, there are differences and inequalities between men and women in the assignment of responsibilities, undertaking of activities, access and control over resources, and decision-making opportunities with gender part of the broader social cultural context. So it very beautifully explains basically what's the difference of these social constructions. These are the expectations, responsibilities that we are assigning to. So, for example, what's the main expectation for men? To provide, to be a breadwinner. And it's very, of course, annoying, yeah? Because it sometimes, under certain circumstances, it can be very harsh. But what is the main assignment for women? Care, in other way, to be a mother, to be a wife, to contribute to the society by giving birth to babies. And this is why we also have some cases. Some of them we will discuss those cases and see that we have different countries, especially even in Europe, that these cases show exactly these socially construed roles. But it is, as I said, very nicely explained that difference. Now I put you some words that we usually assign to femininity or masculinity. So let's now take your note. Do you all have papers? No, not really. Can you borrow him? Okay, and maybe and I'll send you a paper. I don't have that. I think that I have one, but all of you, the rest you have. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. So let's find from this list. So I also ask colleagues who are online to do the same. So let's find 5 main words that you assign to femininity and masculinity. So not all of them, but top 5 for one and top 5 for another. I mean, you as you know that society sees them, not as you think that, yeah. And then we can discuss also for you, is there any agreement on this, yeah? The tough task.
The bad person.
Don't say that. No. So are you done? Yeah. So now work in pairs because we are 4 of you, and I asked colleagues online to put their preferences in the chat box, and then also you can discuss among you what's on the list. But I would like to now that you discuss to share your list with another colleague and to see what you found the same on your list and what's the difference between that list that you found. Yeah.
First, I started with, first of all, I mostly disagree with most of them. Yeah. So I started soft, sensitive, quiet, emotional, and accepting. Hmm. Not emotional, aggressive, hard, and active.
Other part of it down because we saw what we did.
Yes. And to see what you're saying and what's the difference, and then you can discuss the difference. You know, maybe also the similarities. So why you found this to be on the top of the list, and maybe why you didn't choose any of this, and where is different. So just your opinion, your sense.
I am.
Yeah, yeah. We have no words for this one. Nothing where we would disagree. Yeah.
So you're done with this, discussion. Okay, we just wait. So you're done with your assignment. So let's start from you. See what was the common list and where you disagreed. Yeah.
We had femininity sides, so it was passive, quiet, and weak. So to say, are the same in our list. And for the masculinity, only active and self-confident.
Only active and self-confident. Yeah. As a common. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was quite random from the list because everything can be connected to femininity or masculinity. And that we can say I includes for the masculinity.
No, we both talked about, we didn't put it like in order, specific position. But for me, for the community, self-confidence was first on the list intentionally because that's like, I don't know, that's really.
It's by self-confidence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what was also on your list for masculine side?
Yeah, besides this common component and active, I put rebellious, non-emotional, and independent.
Independent. Mm-hmm. Okay, and for you, that's masculinity part?
Aggressive, tough, and strong.
And strong. Okay, and for feminine side?
Emotional.
Emotional.
Emotional, active, and lively. And we made a reflection from one side to the other to have the both gender.
Sure.
So it was in a parallel.
Okay, and for you, Yana?
For me, for the family, it was innocent, weak, soft, passive, and quiet. And I definitely, all the things that I chose was because I'm annoyed by that. I feel like the society view of those, like.
Of course, that you're annoyed, but it means that you.
Well, it's like really triggering.
Triggering you. That was the point, yeah, with this exercise. Okay, let's now it's interesting because we also have a male and female group here. So let's hear your choice.
Well, we don't disagree on anything. We just didn't this all of the things because we are random picking. Everything goes with other. I didn't put the quiet, but I did put the sensitive and soft.
For femininity.
Strong is not speed. Other things that for my life, yeah.
So what was your list?
Nurture, soft, and perspicacious, but in a second way. And masculinity, non-emotional, strong, competitive, tough,
and aggressive. Okay, and for you?
For the feminine side, I had soft, sensitive, quiet, emotional, and accepting. For masculine, I had non-emotional, competitive, aggressive, hard, and active.
And active. Okay, so you also said that if I understood, that women are quiet, so that this is something that is assigned to women, yeah?
Yeah.
And why that was okay? I mean, that's right. I mean, why that was your let's say guess on that society considers women to be quiet? Because sometimes we can be annoyed by women talking that much. Yeah. So how?
It's not about women being quiet, but it's more about men taking up the space. So it's the male dominance in public space that is forcing women to be more quiet because of
the space.
The space that is taken.
Excellent. This is a very, very good point because usually, for example, I have a boy who's like 15 now. I mean, he's a teenager and he has a good friend, but she's constantly talking and he's really running from her. And he said, I really like her. She's very clever, but she's just talking and talking and talking, So he has that notion that women, they are talking too much. But at the same time, we know that it can be in a private conversation, even at schools. But when we come to the public space, to politics, to international sphere, and we discuss it for a course of international European law as well, we have that women are not quiet, but as you exactly said, they're left outside. They're not giving enough space to be presented. So excellent. I think that we all, basically it is a long list, but you picked the right notions which are assigned to being male or female. Is there anyone online who would like to share the list?
Dear professor, I want to say something about this. I have some opinion about this. And do you hear me?
We can't hear you, and we don't see you also at the same time because we have
Yes, I can
presentation. So please just unmute yourself. Yeah.
Can
Good.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. My opinion is that in this list there is no one pure masculinity and pure femininity. Some are mixture of everything. So
Of
we
course,
cannot say
yeah, this is what exactly your colleague said. So that was the first impression, but we also identified those which are a note that we believe are more relevant for men and women, or are characteristic of femininity or masculinity, but how the society sees being female or male. So this is very important to understand that this is not our list, like that we think that women are quiet, emotional, whatever, and that men, for example, are not emotional, but just to find those which are maybe more assigned to one or another. But basically, what you said is a very good conclusion of this short exercise. And also, we had one, Una, you told flirtatious, and you put that characteristic more as being assigned to women, to femininity. Do we agree on this? All that it's more or less. It's a tricky one, yeah.
And more like a prejudice that women are more flirtatious. And that way, like
Manipulate.
use men to get what they want. So that's why
Yeah, it's a very good one. Okay, anyone wants to add something? If not, what is important is that we usually, when we speak about all these roles that we assign and also characteristics that we assign to being male or female, we usually speak about three components: emotional, and